Well, good happy Friday morning, YouTube world out there. I made a video in a little bit, and I was like, I don't got any new content. I haven't done anything. I'm waiting on parts, and I realized that it's been over a year since I installed my BC coilovers. So why not spend today, take you for a little ride, and tell you how they're holding up, and if I still like them 1 year later. I'll do my best to show you a picture of them or video, if there's any corrosion or anything, and just give you my honest thoughts if you want to do this, or any coilovers for the C5. So let's roll that little intro and let's talk about it. All right, I got the car out of the garage. God, this car is so freaking attractive. There's big brakes on it. There's custom painted wheels I did with the rattle can. Oh, I love it. So I got some new DRLs coming with like the laser type deal, kind of match the rear. The sleepy eyes coming, and then I got to do the rear, the halo type lights, probably in a dark black or something. All right, so and me and the wife took this car up to DC last weekend. It was phenomenal. This car is just a good highway cruiser. Absolutely loved it. There was one subscriber I guess saw me on 64 here in Virginia, and they were like, "Hey, was that you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's me." So that was pretty cool, pretty neato. Let's see if I can get a little video for you guys. At least one of these coilovers, how they're holding up, how they're looking. See them right there. I mean, very minimal corrosion. I do drive this thing in the rain and in the winter time. Very minimal salt here though in Virginia for snow, but no, I drive this thing all year long, and they're holding up just fine aesthetically. All right, so in case you're not familiar, the BC coilover for the Corvette C5, the C6, I think it's C7, is a more value type, lower end cost. Not the cheapest, I don't think, but definitely on the lower ends. A lot of people ask me how these compare to, let's say, the Aladdin or the Silvers, and my answer is I have no idea, because I've never driven any of the other ones in this price point. I just know the BC name from a lot of European cars. They use BC and they seem to love it. So that's what I went with. And I think at the time I had a lot of Amazon credit, and it was on Amazon. So, and of course the install, I got a video on that like a year ago if you're curious. Wasn't the hardest thing to do. Anyone with basic mechanical skills and basic mechanical tools and a jack can do the job. I remember when I first did it, my first initial reaction was how much more confident the car felt. And the same is true today, over a year later. Like I said at the beginning of this video, me and the wife took this car to DC last weekend, and it's just amazing on the highway. It feels so good. Now, my first month with the coilovers, I had to dial them in a little bit with the dampening and the preload. I believe my preload, I got it set to about 4 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. And the dampening is just the adjustment. There's 30 different adjustments within the knob on all 4 corners. When I first put them on, I had them all set to super stiff, and it was way too stiff. And then I put them all to super soft, that was way too soft. My happy medium is I have the rears at set to 10, closer to soft, and the front at 5, closer to soft. Now, if I were to go to a track or autocross, I'd put those numbers a little higher. Just because of where I live, the roads aren't perfect, and there are quite a bit of potholes, and it absorbs it quite well in that setting. Now, the weirdest thing is, I feel like over a year, they've broken in, and they feel better now than they did when I first put them on. It could be psychosomatic, I don't know, but they feel better. I've had zero issues with them, zero noises. Other people that have driven in my car or driven my car were really impressed with how it feels. There's almost no body roll. Now this is a Z06, not a base Corvette. There's like a billion motorcycles, bear with me. So my sway bars are a little thicker, a little more stout than a base coupe. That does help as well. And I believe at the same time I did the coilovers, I also did my end links and my bushings on my sway bars. That definitely helped a lot. Now, one thing to also note if you're going to do this, and I believe any coilover for the C5, is that the coilover is going to hold all the weight of all the unsprung weight of the car up connected to your lower control arm. With that being said, I do not recommend running a rubber bushing on the top of your front coil mount, because it will smush and degrade and just fall apart, and you'll be left with a very hazardous situation. So definitely put a poly bushing in the front. I did that right away. Zero issues at all. No squeaks or anything. Just lubricate it really well. Tunnel. This is so good. Hope you guys can hear that. Oh, and also I had my exhaust off for like 2 weeks. I ended up doing a rattle can ceramic deal. Got it baked. It looks pretty good. In the next video, I'll show you how it turned out. It's just black. Looks pretty neat. The purpose of that, taking out my exhaust, was pretty much just to dissect my clutch. It kind of fixed itself like a month ago, but I wanted to see what I was dealing with. It looks like just a stock situation, or a newer stock, a Luke probably, Luke type clutch. It works fine now. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I did torque the bolts from the clutch pressure plate to the flywheel. They were not to spec. They were about 30 pounds below what they should have been, so that gave me kind of a warm fuzzy. I also tightened up the slave cylinder while I was down there. I didn't film it. It kind of pissed me off doing it, but yeah, kind of a weird situation. But yeah, back to the BC Racing Coilovers for $1,300. I think it is an amazing value. I don't track this car. This is mostly a street cruiser for me. If I was more aggressive about autocross or etc., I might have went more expensive, more premium, but for just spirited driving on the highway and cruising, awesome coilover. Absolutely love it. Again, no issues at all. So thank you, BC Coilover. If you're listening, you made a very good product. If you have any question about the product or anything I might have missed during this video, feel free to ask. Very approachable, asking questions on YouTube. Sometimes I don't see them. I have a lot of videos up. They get lost, but if I see it, I'll answer it. Oh, and the stands. People often ask about the stands. They say it looks amazing. It looks different than if you lower it on the stock bolts. I'm not sure why. It just does. Even though it's almost the identical height, it just has a different stance. Inspiring. Love this car. I'm still waiting to hear from my dealer. My dealer last month was like, yeah, your allocation should finally go in this month. Here it is, August 25th, 26th. I haven't heard anything. It's been over a year since I did my my deposit, but he did say in July they only got 1/3 of the normal allocation, so that makes me a little, kind of takes the wind out of your sails, you know. I was hoping to have this thing now already, but given constraints, and I think the plant's gonna be closed next week, so if I get it by Christmas, it's awesome. I'm not holding my breath anymore. It'll get here when it gets here, and I have this toy to play with, so I'm not gonna cry about it. What else? I think I'm missing something, a talking point on these coilovers that I'm missing. The quality's good, the price point's good, they feel great. The feel has not diminished. If anything, over a year, it's gotten more robust. I don't know how. I guess they just kind of broken in a little bit, but no, they feel great. No issues. All right. Well, in any case, that was just a quick little video, kind of touch base with my YouTube family out there. I'll have something fun up here the next few days for you guys. Someone commented yesterday I need to do another like mic'd up POV style farting around video, and I was like, yeah, I definitely will. And I was like 9 months ago, and I still haven't done it. I'll get to it sooner than later. I'll get to it. So. Well, all right, gang. I'm back home now. Hope you guys found this this fun and informative and all that jazz. And I will catch you guys